Hey loves, it's your girl Lady T
and Robin Eve. We decided to come back. We decided to come and just do a couple of current events and things that are going on in the news right now that we wanted to talk about. So let's just hop right into it.
Yes.
So the first thing that has been going around that we have been talking about, even though we really don't know what we're talking about, is the Patriot Deflate Gate.
Deflate Gate. Hashtag.
Yeah. So there was a whole thing going on last season, and there was one particular game with the Patriots, and I'm not sure what team they were playing.
Who they playing?
I can't want to say it was Denver, but I don't know what.
It was New England. Colts?
The Patriots are New England.
It was the Colts.
Anyways, the New England Patriots were playing the Colts, and there was some speculation that the ball was deflated, and now some months have passed, and apparently the ball was deflated, and Tom Brady is being punished for it. He's been suspended for 4 games, and there is $1 million fine that I believe the team has to pay. And what are your thoughts about it? You don't think... Well, hold on. Before we even continue, we don't understand what the problem was as far as why a deflated ball
is an issue.
That it was such a big deal. So we were going to bring my husband in to explain to us simple minds, these simpletons, what the problem was. So, honey, come explain, please. He doesn't like to be involved. He's shaking his head upset, but we don't... Okay. Explain to us what the issue was that the ball was deflated.
I mean, because deflated ball pretty much is easier to catch. Like, each ball has to wear a certain amount of ounces. And, I mean, if the ball is hard, if the ball is pumped up to, I guess, the max capacity of what it can be, and you throw it pretty fast, some people can't catch fast passes.
So if
a ball is deflated any bit, if it's deflated, like, I think it's supposed to be like 13 something, I think that's what they said. And I think the balls that they say were deflated were probably like at 11. Mm-hmm. Even just those 2 that are going away, it's more softer for you to grasp.
Yeah.
And you can tell, like, if I go up and get my ball that's out in the car, which is deflated, and I toss you my ball, you're going to catch the ball. Because it has little to none.
It's easier to grip.
And it's easier for you to grab onto it and hold it. And rather a bigger ball that's kind of bigger, and your hands are probably not as big to grasp it as much. And I mean, it helps out. It helps out because guys who may not catch fast passes or fast passes thrown at them are more likely to catch those passes now if the ball is deflated. So
who was the one that called them out that the ball was deflated? The Colts players?
I mean, the NFL is retarded because to me, nothing's gonna happen. I mean, you find a company $1 million. The Patriots is $1 billion organization. So you actually think $1 million hurts them, and then you got these people on Facebook who want to donate money to them like freaking retards.
Well, we're gonna get into that in a second. You just going ahead of it. You want to stay and do the rest of the review with us?
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it helps out because the simple fact, people who touch the ball and it gets thrown faster is more likely to catch it and hold it a little bit more than if it was pretty much pumped up all the way.
So the Colts players were not playing.
They were playing with their balls because each team has their own balls.
Oh, okay, got it.
They don't share balls.
Okay, got it. Well, we thank you for clearing up what the issue was. Okay, thank you so much, my love. Okay, so now it makes sense. So I think that is clear cheating, and I mean,
was that game?
Yeah, they did.
What is wrong with you?
They beat the Colts badly.
They were in the Super Bowl.
I think they beat them like 45-17.
Oh yeah, that was a whooping.
Why did you want to talk about this? And you
because I really don't want to talk about it because once it was released that after a lengthy investigation and talking to 2,500 million people and interviewing and doing this and that, that's why they made the decision. My question to Robin was, well, why would they automatically assume Tom Brady has something to do with it? Why was he the only one who got suspended?
Because he's the quarterback.
But still, why did he get suspended though?
He's the quarterback. He's the one that has to throw the ball.
Okay, in Robin, you want to even the point about basketball.
Yeah.
You notice when like a basketball game, how the referee gets the ball, he gets the ball, gets his stepping out, that he gives it back to
back to the player.
I feel like this. Somewhere along the line, them referees touch that deflated ball. And you being a professional, at that point, if whoever the referee that particular game, when you're grabbing the ball, when you're putting it to the marker line and having the person come up with the big yellow pole to do all the stuff, somebody else was like, hold on, this is just a little, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think he should have been the only man suspended. It was a team thing. I think the whole team should have sat down for 4 games.
Exactly.
Not just one man because he's the quarterback.
The whole team?
The whole team should have sat down. That's several seats. Not y'all can't just put one person. I don't think that was right.
So moving on in that story, so now somebody has created a GoFundMe account to help raise the $1 million for, as my husband stated, a $1 billion team. I think it's ridiculous. I think if anyone has donated money to this cause, you're about to lose your money. Because whoever created it is going to pocket all of that money that you guys are donating.
It's probably some of the same people who bailed money for George Zimmerman to get out of jail as well. Some of the same fucking retards.
Oh, see, you're jumping ahead now. But so yeah, it makes no sense. I hope that's not true. I've seen the GoFundMe, but maybe they'll take it down because I know the GoFundMe people have the power to stop a thing.
Oh yeah, they'll shut down.
Because they shut down. Who was recently trying to get money raised and they took it down?
Yeah, just recently they shut the GoFundMe, but they shut the page down.
Oh, that's gonna drive me crazy.
I know, because
if y'all remember it was very recent. Somebody's GoFundMe thing got shut down because
the 6 police officers.
Yeah, that's what it was. Trying to get money for them, and they shut it down. Maybe that will happen in this situation because it's completely fraud.
I think
So moving on, if you guys had heard,
finally
the Fox lineup was announced. Some real good shows coming out this fall. I can't wait. And it was announced that American Idol will be canceling after this next
2,500 years. Finally.
Are you serious?
I stopped watching American Idol. I probably the last full season of American Idol I watched had to be Fantasia. Or who came first? Ruben or Fantasia?
Ruben came first.
Then Fantasia came.
Yeah.
Fantasia was the last full season I watched of American Idol.
Who was on it?
Was Carucci on there?
No!
He said yes! Not Coochie Chan.
I watch American Idol. There's some seasons that once all my favorite people go home, I'll stop watching it. Or once it gets past the audition period, I'll stop. But they are going to cancel it after next season.
Watch it faithfully. Check her DVR.
Listen, this season, honestly, has been one of my favorite seasons. I've liked the whole top lineup. The people who are in the top 3. I love. Of course, a lot of my favorites have went home, but literally...
Did Rayvon go home?
Yeah, he went home. Rayvon went home last week. But I have been rooting for Clark from Audition, Jax from Audition. So I'm happy with them being in there too. I hope one of them wins. I hope Clark wins more. But yeah, Rayvon fought his little heart out.
That man could sing, but I really feel deep in my heart he's going to get a record deal.
Oh yeah, I hope John Legend or somebody was really looking at him before because he's good. He's good.
It's easy.
I can see him doing, the genre that Pharrell's in, like with the happy song. I think it could be a whole nother genre of music. I feel.
Yeah.
Because Pharrell really doesn't make music like happy. Like if you really listen to his music, it's not all like that. So I think like a genre of just some happy go upbeat music like that. I think Rayvon would do real good doing something like that. But anyway, so they're canceling. I'm a little upset about it. I just really feel like you should ride it till the wheels fall off.
The wheels have fell off several times, and every season they put them back on with these new judges.
So I don't know if you guys have looked and seen, but it was just released today that Nigel, which was one of the executive producers, and he also was a judge on So That You Can Dance, another one of my favorite shows. And he said he feels like the show started to decline, or what made it get to the point where they couldn't pick it back up, was when the decision to have Nicki Minaj and Mariah Carey on as judges. And that's what tarnished it. Because it started to focus on the judges and not on the actual singers.
And that could be true. And that could be a reason why they brought them on there for a little bit of controversy to bring up the ratings, because they have a large fan base, especially Nicki Minaj. What I didn't like that season that she was on there, how they several times tried to discredit Nicki Minaj because everybody had been in the game 20, 40, 50 plus years, and she had only been in the game a couple of years, according to them. So I didn't like a lot of the times. It did take away from the singers and the performance and the artists, because of the fact every time she opened her mouth, they wanted to let her know, you're new in the game, you really don't have no business even sitting up here with us, but just shut your mouth, wear your pink hair, and play along, but follow our lead. So I think in that particular Nigel, it did take away from that. But I don't think it had nothing to do with the show declining. It's been declining.
No, I feel like it did start declining when Simon left. And I'm going to let you know why. Because I feel like Simon and even Randy, they built people. Their critiques weren't always nice. Every week wasn't going to tell you something you wanted to hear. They told them stuff to make them a better person and an artist. And when you really think about it, the seasons that Simon and Randy were on there, some major superstars came out of those seasons. Right. Since they've left, you really can't say. I mean, people have been successful, but it has not been a Carrie Underwood, Kelly Clarkson successful.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I feel like that's the problem. I mean, with the judges they have now, really, Harry is the only one that kind of says things that are critiquing, but I feel like they don't hit as hard like Simon and Randy did. Yeah. So I felt like, if anything, for the last season, I would have brought them back. And I don't know what I can say about Jennifer Lopez. Like, sometimes I like her on there. First of all, I love her as a person. I don't really think I like her as a judge. And I also feel like they need to bring on a more quirky. That's what I liked about Nicki Minaj, was she was this kind of quirky person. She is more up to date. She does know what people like now. I really feel like they need to bring somebody like that on the show, because I don't think they have that within the panel right now, is what I feel. Yeah, so I feel like it should be a different genre of music on the panel. Like, it's nobody representing kind of like the R&B rap side, and then you have these artists up there that are singing these R&B songs, and nobody can relate. The judges can't really relate to it, so they give them bad critiques. I don't like that. So I don't know. I'm kind of upset about it, but definitely end on a high note. So I think this was a good season. And they're gonna, hopefully next season will be better.
And The Voice is so much better.
But and that's another thing too. I think people like shows like The Voice.
I love The Voice.
I have not watched one season.
I love it. It's beautiful.
Not one season. But moving on. So George Zimmerman, the cat with 9 lives, was shot over the weekend, I believe, and he was shot at. Someone shot into his vehicle, and I think the glass from the shot.
He got injured his face and bruises.
Yeah, he was fine. He walked to the ambulance. It was nothing like that. But he got shot by somebody who he's been having
beef with
for about the last 6 months. If you guys remember, back in September, he it's been longer than 6 months now. Off my time.
Yeah, because it was like probably right after
September was the last time the first time that George Zimmerman and this guy, last name is Apperson. Is it Michael Apperson, I believe?
Yeah.
Matthew Apperson.
So it was M.
It's one of them. But George Zimmerman yelled some threats at him. He called the cops. Nothing came of it because there were no witnesses. And then something happened a little bit after that. I'm not sure what happened after that. But this incident, George is saying the guy followed him, flashing his lights at him. George had to run for his life. This is what his lawyer is reporting. And so George had to run for his life, make U-turns, and try to flee the scene. And then the guy shot in his car. Apperson is saying that he pulled up next to George, and George pulled his gun out. And that's when he pulled his gun out and shot at him because he feared for his life. And he is actually the one who called the police. He's the one that, he didn't have a phone, so he hunted somebody down and called the police. And now we're just pretty much waiting to see what's going to happen from it. If Apperson's going to be charged, a couple
bad names, and he'll go home and start more havoc. Let's move on from this.
So the next thing Bobbi Kristina, in her condition, according to her grandma, she is not progressing.
At all.
She is in the same state.
In the same state.
Even regardless of what, because Bobby did a concert a couple of weeks ago and he said that she's awoke.
And that she's watching me now, which got people thinking she was out of her, actually awoke, still not able to talk and stuff because of trachea, but woke. And of course, his wife came out, a lot of the family members, he didn't mean it like that. He was caught up in the moment. Mm-hmm. He didn't mean it like that. She's still in the unresponsive state. But what you and I were having kind of discussion about was, at the end of the day, she has this condition that is irreversible. Mm-hmm. There's no going back. You can pray, and we constantly pray and hope for the best, but it's kind of in the situation where there's no going. She would never have the same life prior to this incident happening. So my whole thing is keeping her in a state of where she's in a, not in any really what a medical induced coma, but mm-hmm. she's unresponsive. She's not doing anything. Mm-hmm. Why let her body deteriorate for all these months? Let her go. Some person the doctors have probably say, there's no hope. Mm-hmm. So my thing is to let her go, whatever, and just let her die in peace. And
well, I don't understand that because I'm not sure what state she is in, because if she's no longer in an induced coma, she is breathing on her own, is from the last report that we got. Mm-hmm. What would you do? Tear a shot on her? Just stop feeding her and then letting her starve? Or, what would be the state? What do they need to do?
That's just, I guess, the tough thing for me. And I don't know if a lot of y'all are familiar with the Terry Schiavo case some years ago where the husband, the wife just mysteriously, I'm not going to say mysteriously, but just ended up just going to a vegetative state and became unresponsive, became somewhat was she brain dead? No, but she was, blinking, but they wanted to say she was some parts brain dead, I guess. I'm probably saying it wrong. But anyways, her husband, he had got married, had started a whole new life, but wanted her feeding tube removed so she could pass. Well, the parents, of course, fought that. And it was a couple times he won, they would remove it, then the parents fought, they put it back in. That happened 2 or 3 times during that 5-year battle. Finally, the husband ended up winning the final judgment, and they ended up removing the feeding tube. It took about a week to die, and she died, of course, of starvation. So, I guess in the same sense, they would have to do the same thing. I remember Terry Schiavo, she was responsive to a point where she would blink. You talk to her, she would do little stuff that gave the kind of notion she was acknowledging, I guess, in a certain way, where they're saying, her grandma's saying that she's not doing anything. She's just laying there, brain dead.
It kind of reminds me of that. I don't know if you guys remember that young girl that went in. What she supposed to have her tonsils removed or something, and ended up slipping into a coma. Yeah. And it's kind of the same thing. They said she was brain dead, but her parents I think still to this day, still have her on some type of ventilator or life support, and saying that she's going to come out of it. And I don't know. I just don't know at what point do you let it go. And I know I felt personally, the struggle between Sissy and Bobby Brown, which is Bobbi Kristina's dad. I feel like they were wanting to see who was going to be the one that's going to be in control of everything as far as making the decisions, her estate. If she was to pass away, who does that go to? Mm-hmm. And we had a conversation about that because we weren't for sure if she was to pass away. Does her Whitney's estate go to Bobby Brown? Would it be the next of kin, or is it a situation if she doesn't have a will? Does it just go to what does it do?
I meant to do
someone take over the estate
prior to the video, but I wanted to look up the state law and how does that actually work. Because I always thought that the next of kin would get the money. If there wasn't a direct will that's saying you get this and that the next kin ought to get it, I think that would make that her dad.
So, and I thought that if there's no will in place, the money goes into an estate that's controlled by whoever controls it, the state, something like that. And then maybe that gives it the family an opportunity to try to fight for the estate. That's what I thought happened. So we kind of were confused as to what could happen. I also think Sissy's ready to let it go. I think Bobbi, of course, is still holding on and, doesn't want to do that. So, I don't know. I pray.
Okay, so it looks like, and that I did say that it looks like Whitley may have had a clause in her death, in Bobbi Kristina's death, what that estate would go to. Which, being a businesswoman and Pat Houston, I'm pretty sure she definitely had that provision put in place. So I'm just reading something on Radar online. It says that if the 21-year-old Bobbi Kristina dies, that basically the terms of Whitney's 1993 last will and testament dictate that if daughter Bobbi Kristina doesn't survive her, the estate should be divided amongst her mother and other family members. There you go. So that could be a reason why he wants to keep her alive. He's trying to fight that.
That could be it. And I hope I hope this is not a money thing while we're keeping this girl alive. I hope that's not what the case is. But let us know what y'all think about that. And then the last thing we wanted to talk about, moving on from that, is Kenya Moore announced today on Instagram that her Matchmaker boyfriend is actually married. And she had no idea. She found out through social media, and she put up this whole. You want to pull up?
Well, yeah, she put. And I'm gonna tell you, and I'm still kind of just, my heart's kind of torn with Kenya now ever since the reunion. But at the end of the day, and the girls kind of stated that last season that they, at the end of the day, they really feel like Kenya is like deeply looking for companionship, a soulmate. And so when I don't watch that Millionaire Maker show, what do you call it? Matchmaker show. But when that happened, I was like, okay, because that was legit. This is Patty, who her name is. So she would fact check first before you bring people on television and set them up.
Exactly.
And knowing this man was about to get married, because this thing that happened overnight, like he just. You know what I'm saying?
So this is what Kenya posted. Unfortunately, I just learned today that the man I met and fell in love with from Millionaire Matchmaker was married a week after the show aired. I am astonished and devastated to learn of this news via social media as opposed to him directly. However, I still believe in love and my heart remains open to the man God has for me. I wish him well. So she's actually saying she has fell in love with this guy. He got married a day after the show premiered.
Which said a day or a week?
Was it a week or a day?
She said a week after the show premiered.
A day, a week? He got married.
When did it premiere? Because you watched it. I didn't watch it.
No, I didn't. I didn't watch it, but it was about almost a month ago that show came on. I think it might be going on a month, maybe 3 weeks ago. But my whole thing is, clearly after the show premiered, she put up a picture
of them at some dinner.
Yeah, for her birthday, and so clearly they were still in a relationship. And I think somebody asked her not too long ago, was they still together? And she said yes. So I'm trying to figure out, did he marry this woman? I think she's on What's Happening Live, and Andy asked her. And yeah. So I'm trying to figure out at what point.
Did you really? Wait, hold on. Oh God, Ken, though.
Yeah.
Because you said a week after the show the show aired. Mm-hmm. So you hadn't been talking to him? Like, I guess
that's what I'm saying. When did he have time to go? When I'm pretty sure there was a honeymoon. The pictures from the wedding looked absolutely amazing. It looked.
So that was a well-planned wedding with no famous
exactly. So I'm almost sure there was probably a honeymoon. Like, at what point did you realize? Oh my God, my boyfriend has been missing for a week. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It seems to me a little fraudulent. That's what I feel. I feel like maybe they're matchmaking.
It's not saying your part, Ken. I just think.
What you mean?
I mean, I don't think it's fraudulent on her part.
I kind of think
Patty picked them up.
No, but this is my thing. But him getting married after the show has nothing to do with Patty. He could have lied to her. I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying.
I think Kenya made
that check.
But I think Kenya probably made it the relationship something that it wasn't. Maybe afterwards.
True. I mean, she's obviously known to do that according to the show. I'm not saying we know you real in person. My thing is, it's called Match Millionaire. So who was the millionaire in this? Was it him?
Yeah.
He's not the millionaire. So what does he do?
Yeah, he's the you're matching, pretty well established people up, I think.
What does he do?
I don't know what he does, but what I'm saying is, regardless, whenever
what does he do? That's Patty's fault. I don't care. I
think Patty might be to blame some, but we don't know when the show was taped. Okay. We don't know what was going on after they met. What if he met somebody after the show?
So your thing is after the show was, let's say if he met somebody after the show was taped. When's Ken's birthday? I mean, we gotta do a timeline because at the end of the day, somebody didn't fact check. Patty obviously didn't fact check because
God, you bring this guy on the show people, but to do your research,
your producers, the show should do research. This man. This, like you said, I didn't see pictures of the wedding, but you said this is a well planned out. This was no.
So what if they would never and Ken try to make it? You know what? We're not going to speak no more on it. We're going to wait until he releases a statement because I'm almost 1,000% sure he's going to release some type of statement.
Something.
Because I'm pretty sure his wife is probably smacking him upside the head right now. But my thing is, she had to have seen the show air to the. I mean, we're going to leave it at that.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Then again, if they got married after the show premiered, so you try to tell me his fiance, they're sitting that she didn't know about, like she's sitting here, honey, I'm gonna be ordering them. Someone let me see what Patty's talking about.
No,
and you see her.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, what if the show was taped months ago? Okay. Some people rush into marriage. What if it was a woman who he was with and they broke up and he went on the show trying to find somebody?
That looked like it was a rush wedding?
No, I'm not saying a rush wedding. I'm saying a rush relationship, like engagement. Okay. So what if they shot the show a few months ago? King and him didn't work out. He got with this woman. She was well aware that he was on the show.
So you're saying that if that happened, why did Kenya, why would she just sit for months or weeks, whatever, and not go without talking to this man?
No, what I'm saying, why would she come out to the public and say, I'm in a relationship with this guy, man, we're still together, when probably they were never they weren't together.
That could be true.
So we're gonna know. We'll wait. We've been carried on long enough, but we'll end it there.
You guys, January.
Who's?
Kenya, January 24th.
There you have it. That's almost 6 months.
We're into the 5th month of the year. That's 6 months.
That's what I'm saying. It's almost 6 months later. So what if they didn't carry on? It's just another way to try to manipulate people, I feel. Mm-hmm. Or a lot of people. That's what I think. But please, guys, leave your comments below if you agree with something, if you don't disagree, if we said something wrong, or what you feel like we should talk about next. Because like we said, we only have one show we're watching. We might start doing reviews on Teen Mom. I don't know if any of you watch that, but we might. But yeah.
I'm got another story, girl, that's brewing up. Deceit and desist. Those are two nice words.
But we will see you guys later on this week or next week. You never know. We might be in a video.
Because I was saying one time, I wanted to see this video. This Jocelyn and Stevie J's new song. You heard of it?
Who knows? But guys, we will see you guys another time. Okay.
All right.